Hey, pretty. Welcome to the Fine Girl Club, and today we're going to be discussing being a young pretty girl in the workplace. So, first thing I want to talk about is the unwanted attention that you get when in the workplace. So, I'll just talk about my experience and how being an introvert, I'm kind of quiet. I'm usually quiet, so I always stick to my workstation when I would work, and I wouldn't bother anyone. I would just come to work, do the job, do any task asked of me and required of me in my position, and just go back home. So I wouldn't really talk to anyone unless I'm spoken to. And yeah, I just got this weird feeling. Well, I would get this weird feeling sometimes. For example, it would happen a lot where there would be a group of people that I work with. They would all be talking, socializing, and me being myself, I would be probably far away at my own workstation, um, listening to music or something, um, and I would just get up. I would walk by them. I would be doing something, probably a task or something to do with my work, and it would just be quiet. Like it would get suddenly quiet, and it would just be this weird energy. And I could feel, probably if my back was facing them, I would probably feel some weird stares. Like it would almost be like they were waiting for me to acknowledge them or something like that. Or it just feels like they would feel entitled to me acknowledging them or me joining in on the conversation. And when I wouldn't, it would it would still be weird. Like it would be a weird energy, like they expected me to come up to them and join in on the conversation. So that's one thing. And also there's there's this thing that I experienced, and I'm sure that a lot of you have, with not being taken seriously, um, not being, um, like, people would not think that you are capable of performing the task at hand. And yeah, I've experienced that, and also not being taken seriously by male counterparts, especially. I, for example, I there was this guy who he was in charge of a particular department, or some kind of department at work, and he he would come to me and tell me about some stuff that would change, some policies and stuff like that. And I guess one time he was in a meeting with some other guys, some other men who worked there, and he would, well, I called him because I couldn't find him anywhere, and I knew he was in the building, but I wanted to clarify something. So I had to resort to calling his phone, and he was talking very weirdly on the phone to me. He was saying my name out loud, I guess to make it known to the other men in the room in the meeting that he was talking to me, and I called his phone, and he was kind of like, "Don't worry, Miss. Um, I'm coming to the rescue," or something like that. And it was so weird. And I heard one of the other men say, well, ask him if it's me that was on the other line. And it just gave me this icky feeling, and it was so disgusting that some of these men will try to make it seem like they've had, or they have access to you, or you like them, or something. They're getting something from you, and it's very disgusting. And yeah, so Also, there's this difficulty when forming genuine connections with other people. Like, I know I don't even believe in forming like close connections with people you work with, because sometimes stuff can go down and people will throw you under the bus. However, um, it's okay to be cordial with the people you work with. So, however, I would always feel like there was this weird energy when I would be doing my tasks, doing my work, um, while on my own vibe. I usually wouldn't ask anyone for help, um, although sometimes I did, but that was very rare. And I would always feel like people were kind of monitoring me, monitoring how I do my work, and it was very icky. Like, I would feel like sudden glances. I would notice people staring at me when I was doing certain tasks. I don't know what they were trying to do, if they were trying to see how well I did my work, or see if I didn't do something right. I don't know if they wanted to talk about it um, later on with whoever, whichever other person. Yeah, it was very weird. It was very weird, and yeah, that's one thing. And also, there would there's this kind of feeling of being ostracized and isolated around other people. So, for example, although I mentioned that I would only spend time at my station, I wouldn't really talk to other people like that. I would get this feeling like um, people would intentionally try to uh, make me feel isolated, like I'm not there. Like, for example, um, I went to who, these two women are usually, I guess they're close. They're always whispering, talking, whatever, in at their desks. Like, yeah, they're always together. So yeah, we didn't really talk like that. Probably some small talk, but that was very rare. And I remember they were talking, and I went up to them and I asked a question, and they both looked at me, and it was very weird. Like, they saw me and they heard me ask the question. However, they went right back to talking to each other. Now tell me, that's not weird behavior. Like, why would you hear someone ask a question, look them in the eye, like you're showing them that you heard them, and you you go back to doing what you were doing? Like, that's very weird. And yeah, um, I know there are some instances like these where you may have felt ostracized or isolated, like people make you feel like you're not even there, and yeah, it's very weird. So this is what I have on the experience of being a pretty young girl or young woman in the office. So thanks for tuning in, and let me know if you experienced what I spoke about in this video, or if you've experienced something differently, something else that I haven't touched upon. And yeah.